This is big for the Phoenix Suns as we have a new injury update surrounding around that third star in the trio, Bradley Beal, that we're going to be diving into today as he is said to be available for the Suns game tonight. We're also going to be looking at a quote from Monte Morris, player who's played a solid role with this team and how he's been experiencing his tenure in Phoenix. We'll be breaking down all of that and more on this episode of Suns Digest. I'm Bruce Velez. You guys have been absolutely fantastic, showing your love and support for the channel. We're super appreciative for you guys tuning into the recent updates. So if you guys do enjoy the content, keep smashing that like button to make sure you stay up to date on everything revolving around the Phoenix Suns, as we got it covered for you here on Suns Digest. But without further ado, let's dive into the video at hand. Make sure to grab a snack. Like I said in the introduction, this is absolutely huge for Phoenix Suns fans as they are seeing the return of their third star from the Big Three trio tonight as they take on the Indiana Pacers, 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Pacific time. But if we get into the update here for you guys, let's dive into that. We can see it was reported from Gerald Bourguet from PHNX Sports that Bradley Beal has been upgraded to available for tonight's game against the Pacers, which is key for the Suns. We obviously seen the Suns with Durant back go on that 2-game win streak, but as we've heard with the news around Jimmy Butler, the team wants to wait 10 to 15 games to evaluate how this team can truly play in this Western Conference. So having Beal back into that lineup is truly going to give Matt Ishbia, James Jones, Mike Budenholzer a true evaluation of who's going to stay and who could possibly be moved to make upgrades in this competent Western Conference. But if we want to keep diving in as we all know from Amanda Plugard, that Bradley Beal was out the last game due to right knee swelling. That's why he had not played since the Suns NBA did not play in the two makeup games for the Suns in the NBA Cup for not making the tournament. There obviously was nothing structurally wrong with his knee. The Suns were just making sure that Bradley Beal was 100% and was ready to go. And versus teams like the Utah Jazz and Portland Trailblazers, no offense to those franchises, but two teams towards the bottom of that ladder in the Western Conference, that makes perfect sense. If you want to keep a player to stay healthy, make sure you can get right back on track. Versus a little bit of a more comparable team, Indiana Pacers, they have been dealing with injuries, but in a weakened Eastern Conference, could put up a nice fight with a nice offensive spark in quick motion to go up against this Suns team as well. I expect tonight to be a gauntlet scoring night from both franchises, and I can see as long as the Suns can match that mirror scoring from a little bit of a struggling Tyrese Halliburton, who has gotten some things underneath his wing, Benedict Mathurin, Pascal Siakam, Miles Turner, if they can combat with that offense tonight with their players and Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, Kevin Durant having that big three back with Tyus Jones, with these key impact players on the bench like Royce O'Neal, Grayson Allen, I am sure that the Suns are going to be able to get this done. But it's exciting to see Bradley Beal fully back in this lineup. This is what we want to see out of Bradley Beal. If we want to look at Bradley Beal's stats so far for the season, we can see he's having an all right season for the Suns. Yes, he is making $50 million for this Suns team, which should be putting up better numbers if he's going to be making $50 million. But as a third option in this Suns team, he's putting up around 18 points, 4.2 rebounds, 3.3 assists on 49% shooting from the field and 36% shooting from three. The 3-point percentage could be a little bit higher from Beal, but around 36% isn't too bad. Around that 40% threshold, above being 35. The 35 threshold is nice, and around 50% shooting from the mid range shows he can be efficient at scoring in between the 3-point line arc. But it's nice to see Beal kind of get back into this lineup, be able to figure things out with his co-stars in Booker and Durant. Because like I said, even though it was the Jazz and the Blazers, those games were close, even though the Suns were able to beat them. So it's gonna be nice to see their third star being acclimated, being put into this roster, and being able to add his scoring element for this team. And like I mentioned, the news from Gambo was that the Suns are going to wait 10 to 15 games to evaluate some things. Like I said, they just got Bradley Beal back into these lineups. Did those two games count before? Necessarily? Let me know in the comment section. Do you think they do? I think that they definitely do, but we'll have to see with Bradley Beal integrated into this lineup for this next week to 2 weeks how the Suns really are seeing things in the West. If they're still coming up with injuries, there's still going to be some problems. There definitely is going to be need to make some moves. Or if the Suns do see that this big three is cohesive and is working together when fully healthy, then there's no need to pursue any big time trades, and the Suns could maybe bow out of some of these recent trade rumors that we have seen with the names of Jimmy Butler. But like I said, let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. It's going to be a fantastic game tonight, and we're going to have a post game covered for you guys coming after the game over here on Suns Digest. So if you do miss the game, or if you want to chat about the game anyway, make sure to come tune in with that and check out for that video. But let's get into some more news revolving around this Suns team as well. Just hit the wrong button, but we're going to be talking about a player on the Suns and Monte Morris here, as he has been a class act. We're going to look at a quote from him today from Gerald as well that I think really uniquely displays that. So let's get into the news here. I want to look at this from Gerald Bourget. He was talking to Monte Morris about his, atmosphere in Phoenix, how he's been feeling accustomed to. Monte was basically going in on this, really expressing to the fact that he's happy in Phoenix with his role. And even though he hasn't gotten the biggest role, he's still been happy. He's still been enjoying his time here. And he is excited with what this team's direction is going. And that's something really big to hear from a player who necessarily hasn't been given the biggest role from the Phoenix Suns. Monte was brought in, obviously, on that their minimum contract and was one of the earlier free agent signings for the Suns alongside Mason Plumlee. Then obviously the Suns went and got Tyus Jones, and when Monte was brought on, we expected him to be that backup point guard still. I don't think many of us really saw him inserting himself into that starting lineup. But then once Tyus Jones kind of signed, things dramatically changed. And for Monte, obviously that's just another guard being added into the rotation, another one taking a little bit of step above him. But he's okay with that. He's perfectly fine with that, which we love. But ultimately, it also limits his role because obviously Beal and Booker are also guards. And if we want to look at this Suns depth chart here, courtesy of Spot Track, if we get pulled it up, we can see that the Suns have 10 guards listed under roster here. Now, those three other guards would obviously be Gillespie, Bridges, and Ty as well, but I didn't include the two-way guys in there. But 7 guys listed as guards under this roster. Obviously, you got Monte Morris, you got Tyus Jones, Bradley Beal, you got Devin Booker, you got I'm trying to read off the list. I can't see. Damian Lee, I forgot about him. Josh Okogie. There are multiple Suns listed at the guard position on this list. And for Monte, that's been tough for him to crack the rotation. And we recently did a video talking about Monte in depth, kind of talking about how he has kind of shown some recent improvements along in his role in that game versus the Blazers, and how him and Royce O'Neal have been perfect with the Suns unlocking them. So if you missed that video, go check that one out. But like I said, ultimately having players like Monte really step up and really deliver in these small moments has been key. And I think that the Suns fans obviously appreciate Monte. We went over that in that last video as well. But let me know your guys' thoughts about Monte Morris. I just wanted to bring up that little quote as well, kind of going into how he's a class act and how this is nice to hear from a player who's obviously had a little bit of a sacrificial role with the Suns, getting some sporadic minutes off the bench, maybe not as much as he anticipated when he first signed that contract in Phoenix, but he's not frustrated. He's still happy being in Phoenix, and that's what we love to hear. And I think Monte, even past this season, could still be valued as a piece to be brought into this rotation, depending if they do switch up the guards in some trades, either this season or next season, or possibly just as a nice mentor piece for the future as well. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Like I said, Bradley Beal is going to be back tonight, which is absolutely fantastic. We also broke down the news about Monte Morris being a class act as well. If you guys are not subscribed and you're part of the 78% of the viewers that do watch these videos and you do enjoy the daily Suns content, make sure to hit that subscribe button, as we are trying to put out daily Suns content for you guys. We're almost at our goal of 2,000 subscribers, and you guys have been absolutely fantastic hammering that subscribe button over the last couple of days with the Jimmy Butler news. So I hope you guys enjoy the other in-depth pieces as well that we can bring on this channel that isn't just news-based as well, to get news on the Suns. We're going to be getting some live streams cooking up as well with the holiday season in the motion. It's been a little bit difficult. I will try to figure out some stuff, but I do have some people that I do want to have on here for live streams. So if you have any suggestions for there as well, drop them down in the comment section. I love reading comments, love responding. So let me know all your thoughts about the Suns. I'll catch you guys in the post-game video if you are there. If not, hopefully the Suns can get a dub for all of us and get on that nice 3-0 win streak with the big three back. Without further ado, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a great rest of your day, and go Phoenix Suns. Peace out, everyone.